Okay, chapter 4 is the metabolic power of rhythm. Rhythm is everywhere. Each particle of our being moves and pulsates, dances and sings, and keeps to the beat of a brilliantly conceived symphony. The whole of our biology is a fantastic clockwork of precise chemical and hormonal rhythms whose timing is critical for our survival and well-being. Your heart beating is a rhythm. Your lungs breathing, inhaling, and exhaling vital atmosphere is a rhythm. The electrochemical pulsation of the brain is a rhythm. So is the menstrual cycle, waking and sleeping, digesting and eliminating, and the contraction and expansion of every cell, vessel, and organ in the body. Interfere with any of these, and disease or death shall follow. Master rhythm, and you master metabolism. Indeed, much of what ails us from a nutritional perspective, weight gain, fatigue, digestive complaints, carbohydrate craving, overeating, can be resolved in training with the kinds of rhythms that naturally and effortlessly regenerate us. Let's take a look at how we can better understand and harness this important metabolic force. Hot rhythms. One of the simplest and most reliable ways to measure the metabolic rate of the human body is to take its temperature. The hotter you are, the more metabolic you'll be. Recall that the Latin name for our midsection, solar plexus, means gathering place for the sun. This highlights how long we've known that the basic design of the human form is a capturing device for the sun's energy. The more efficiently we harness the sun's warmth, the better we digest, assimilate, and calorie burn. It's no accident that we use temperature metaphors to describe what excites us. An energetic person is called a fireball. An attractive person is hot. We warm up to some people while others leave us cold. As evolutionary fate would have it, body temperature has a rhythm that is consistent and predictable for most everyone. And this daily rhythmic fluctuation reveals some important insights into unleashing our metabolic potential. During the evening and early morning hours when we sleep, body temperature drops. It makes sense that our bodies are cooler at this time because we're not busy hunting for animals in the jungle or hunting for bargains at the mall. Our muscles have little work to do at this time. The body is in a state of rest, healing, and repair of all its tissues. We do burn calories as we sleep, but not even close to the amount we use up in our waking hours. As we sleep, the body is in a fasting state, assuming we didn't eat a big meal just before bed. The moment your eyes open in the morning, body temperature automatically begins to rise. This is the same thing as saying your metabolism wakes up when you do. It makes biological sense because now the sun is up. It's time to find food, find a mate, do battle, and perhaps do a few good deeds. Even if you stayed in bed all day and didn't move, your temperature metabolism would still elevate because we're programmed to entrain with the rhythms of the sun. Because you're naturally heating up in the morning, eating at this time is a smart bet if you're trying to lose weight. Adding food to your gut will increase metabolic rate even more and provide your body with the nutrients it's already preparing to process. Think of your gut as a furnace. When you add fuel, the heat rises. There are, of course, exceptions to every nutritional rule. Many people who live in hot weather climates do great on no breakfast, a light breakfast, or a fruit breakfast. You'll also find that you might do well on a substantial breakfast in the colder months, but will be drawn to eat lighter in the early hours during the warmer seasons. You may also go through periods where the first meal you eat isn't until lunch, and that too works fine until your metabolism shifts into its next phase. Body temperature continues a slow, steady rise and subsequently peaks around noon. It will exactly reach its apex the very moment the sun finds its high point in the sky. This is a little-known scientific fact that shows our profound connection to the cosmos. Our digestive force is therefore hottest at lunchtime. It makes sense then that our largest meal would be best consumed at this time when our ability to pulverize food is the strongest. After a metabolic peak at high noon, body temperature dips for the period between approximately 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It shouldn't surprise you that just as we feel more awake when body temperature is rising, we feel sleepy when it's falling. So if you've ever felt that there's something wrong with you because your energy drops somewhere between 2-ish and 5-ish, don't worry, you're perfectly normal. Most people you ask will tell you they feel tired during this time. It's the human rhythm. Lions love to lounge around and absorb after their big kill. So do you and I. Body energy metabolism in the form of body flow and oxygenation is rerouted to digestion after our midday meal. The result is that we feel tired. The people in many European and Latin American countries typically have their biggest meal at lunchtime, the peak metabolic time slot of digestion and calorie burning. Then they take a siesta. Businesses shut down, social activity goes quiet, and people snooze. They are honoring and working with the natural rhythms of the body. Entire cultures are designed to function in relation to digestive rhythms, ours except ours. In America, most of us tank up on caffeine or sugar in the metabolic decline of 2 to 5 p.m., pushing through our fatigue in service to a way of life that values the overdrive gear more than any other speed. Can you imagine what life would be like if you could relax during this time and let go of achieving and conquering? Numerous studies have shown that 1 or 2 15 to 20 minute rest periods during the day will profoundly increase cognitive function, physical performance, mood, and energy. You don't even need to sleep during this time. It's simply about rest, stillness, closing off from outside sensations and recharging your batteries. Simply put, resting is a metabolic enhancer. At around 4 to 6 p.m., body temperature starts to rise again, and this is when most people feel their energy return. It's also when the English stop for tea time. It makes perfect sense to do your caffeine at this point when metabolism is picking up anyway. By around 9 o'clock, body temperature begins another downward trend in preparation for sleep. Recall that the act of eating raises body temperature. A big meal before bed would therefore interfere with your slumber. Once again, though, Americans have it backward. We tend to do a small to non-existent breakfast, a moderate-sized lunch, and more often than not, a big dinner before bed. And this is exactly what you ought to do if your goal is restless sleep and weight gain.